What is it? Saturday? Happy Saturday. Mind over matter. I try to stay on the calendar. It's mind over matter. I'm in the past. I'm in the future. I'm in the now. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, listening to Smile. Thank you, always think up. Mind over matter. Big girl shit. Guys, it gets hard sometimes to cheer with a heavy heart. I'm Sarah Richardson. I'm a cheerleader for the divine. When your heart's heavy, it's hard to cheer. You can't hear me? Hold on. Let's see if we can get this. Maybe my quiet. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Give me hearts if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Don't know if it's my phone or... Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Anybody? Does anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No hearts? You can't hear me. Can anybody hear me? Give me some hearts if you can hear me. Maybe I have to start over. I hear you. Yes! Okay, I love you, I love you, I love you. I hear now, yes. Okay, I got it. The universe wants me to bring it, guys. I'm telling you, you know. And it gets hard to tap into your own self with a heavy heart, right? And so that's why it's hard to be a cheerleader when you have a heavy heart, because with a heavy heart, it's hard to tap into your own self and trust your own self and trust what's coming in for you. You're fucking gorgeous, Sarah. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you, love. Thank you. Guys, May is a really tough month for me and my human track, right? There's a lot, you know. There's a lot around Mother's Day for me that has nothing to do with my mother. There's a lot, you know, winter gets me down sometimes here in Pennsylvania, right? So I just came from this like big winter stretch that was like, felt like it was super extra long this year for some reason. And, you know, I've been working on a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff that I'm working on is really going great. And then a lot of stuff that I'm working on is not really going so hot, right? And it's like, oh, you know, she has this and that and this and that, you know, but whenever I got into my May month, I was like, damn, man, as much as love as I put on co-parenting, I just can't fucking do it. Like, I just can't wrap my brain around how to get it right? I love you. So then we got, you know, this virus comes out, right? Sarah, I miss your beautiful face, energy, and messages. How have you been? I've been good, love. I've been processing things like a fucking mug, man. It's mind over matter out here, right? And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. That's what Spirit keeps pulling at my heart about. I've been crying a lot, so I might cry. But it's good. I just feel everything. And so not only is my May normally hectic, but this May has been like ultra hectic because everybody's in fear. Everybody's trauma is kicked up, right? The fear is like kicked up and amped up and like in your face, right? So it's 5:55 a.m. here in New Beginnings. I love it. I love that I have friends all over the world. I love you all. I love that you check on me, tell me jokes, tell me what you're going through, open your heart to me, trust me, get vulnerable with me, because guys, the only way that we're fighting this war that we have going on is getting really vulnerable. Getting vulnerable about what hurts you, what you feel, what you've been through, healing that stuff up deep. It's a deep healing of those things. Me too. I was happy to see you getting out and having fun with your loved ones. that's essential. Sometimes we just need a break. My coronation, that's what I was ready to talk about, you know, my work. I was thinking about moving. I was doing this program, and all this virus comes and hits, right? So, you know, I had been in a long winter stretch here, craving the sun and the warmth, right? And so I was setting up this coronation. And I didn't have any exactlies on it. You know, when I'm creating things, I don't like to make exactlies. I like to leave it open for things that are better than what I could think of, right? And so, you know, a lot of people got real upset with me, and I went in with myself, and I'm like, okay, you know, am I running from myself? Is this coronation? Am I running from myself? Am I running from, you know, the weather? You know, am I just a big baby? Am I, you know, what am I doing? What am I doing? All this fear going on, and this is what my heart wants to do. Like, this is what my heart wants to do. And I keep asking Spirit for signals and messages, and I'm getting them. Doubled all the time. Like, here, you ask, I doubled it. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, word. That's great, right? But what is this, you know? So I probably went back and forth with my coronation for about 2 weeks, checking myself. Hey, love. Hey, love. Hey, love. You know, in all the heavy, when I decided to take my coronation, you know, I was like super depressed for like 2 weeks before I went. I was trying. I was giving up. I was getting up. I was vibing out. I was writing things down. And just something in me was just like dragging, right? Girl, that coronation was some massive goodwill hunting. Took us to a whole new level of love. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I'm so grateful that I followed my heart in that coronation, right? Because like my human was like, what is going on, heart? Like, what are we I mean, like, it was like fluttering, and then like I would get this confirmation, and then there would be like more flutter, and I'm like, I don't know, this just seems so fucking crazy with everything that's going on, right? And so even when it's really heavy, you get really divine inspiration, and it tugs at your heart, and it makes it beat fast, and it makes you see these things that you can't see in real life. Mind over matter shit, right? You see these things that you just don't see in real life, and it feels so good, and you don't even know why. You don't even have a plan. Like, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. It just feels fucking good, right? That's divine inspiration. That's aligned with your heart's desires. And it doesn't seem humanly like it's something you're really supposed to do. You could check yourself 1,000,000 times over it. Mind over matter. She is spoiling us, Spirit. Kim, I love you. Super Sarah, thank you, Jim. I love you. I felt that drag and release someone, because like instant peace. It's like instant peace. Yeah. Releasing people and releasing things and releasing hurts. It is. It's like this instant peace. It's like this instant. Okay. Your coronation totally killed me. Oh my God, I missed the beach. I made my August cruise because of you. I love you. I love you. Anyone that I inspire to, you know, take that risk and take that time for themselves if their heart was pulling on that, even if it didn't seem very logical. I love you. I love you all. Thank you all for messaging me and all the wonderful conversations that I had when I was on my coronation, because nothing was the same. My routine wasn't the same. I didn't write. I didn't do videos. I really just sucked in every single now moment. And so let me tell you guys some of the magic that happens in that really weird space, right? But it's like a neutral space that you have to find, right? So it's like you sent your message out to the universe, and now you're about to receive what you're about to receive, and you have to find this neutral space to be in. No opinion, no judgments, no. I brought my sweater out here because it's like cold, hot, off, on, right? And so you have to find this neutral space. And you know how I found my neutral space was that I had no real exact plan, but I had some solid fallbacks that I could fall on to, I have kids now, right? So like I'm a big girl and I have little people with me. And so I need solid things that I can fall onto to make sure that we're not just like out here, right? Because if it was just me, I sleep in my car, I get the road trip, I do what I want, I've been like this, right? And people used to say, you're not safe. And I would say, I'm protected. I feel it. I'm good to people. I feel it. Like, the people that I meet, they're a blessing. Like, my road trips have been, like, the most divine. You know, I've shared them with my Nana. I've shared them with so many people that I love. My road trips, I love a road trip. And I get a lot of divine inspiration on a road trip. And my heart knew I needed that, right? No need for a plan. No. And our humans will tend to, like, push that. Try to plan that. We are where we belong when it feels good, but it's so freaking weird. It is, girl. Sweetheart, how do I find someone like you in Australia? I proposed to her in a heartbeat. It's in you, buddy. It's in you. I love that you can, be turned on, shared. Can you make it public when you're done, please? Thank you so much for this video. Yes. I don't know why it doesn't pop to public. Oh, God. These limitations and these fears, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, my videos not popping to public, like, it's because I locked down my shit when Rohit stole my shit. But it was like created a fear, like someone's gonna come in and like get your shit, so now you have to do all this extra work, right? That's an analogy for somebody. You're so beautiful. Thank you, James. So, a lot of times when we're making plans, right, we're planning every little avenue of something, and then when it falls off, it feels like it's not working. But what really happens is, like, the divine plan comes in and makes it better than you could ever imagine. And so, the things that I was planning and the things that I was trying to do, a lot of those things weren't working, right? And I knew, and I trusted in my heart that my heart just kept saying, go, go, go. I know it seems crazy, but go. Take your baby, take your niece, and go. Nobody got to celebrate a birthday. Go. You've been in the house for so long, doing the damn thing, dedicated to your work, dedicated to healing, dedicated to healing yourself, helping others. Go, go, go. Watch how many people you run into, new and old. It's going to be good now. Yeah, retrograde is, these retrogrades of these planets are really kicking up a bunch of old things in your life, and I can feel it, and so I know you guys can feel it, and I know some things will come in and be like, this thing, but I promise you, if you sit with yourself and you breathe with yourself and you go into your heart and you find compassion for that thing, that person, that place, that opportunity, that whatever, right? Things will roll a lot different. You want to make decisions when you're in alignment, right? Sometimes you have to kick people out. Sometimes you have to pull people in. Sometimes you have to do all kind of different stuff that doesn't make any sense. You gotta feel into your heart, right? And so, guys, on my trip, I couldn't get a hold of my dad for like a couple weeks. And so I was just like, oh, fuck it. Like, I just can't get a hold of him. He lives in Florida, and I was definitely going there. And so here ends up, that's the first place. By the time I was like 6 hours into my drive, I was already meeting up with him to stay with him for a week. It's coming for clarity, but it's test, yes. Meditate, loves, I love you. Yes. It is coming up for clarity. It just wants to be noticed. It just wants to be loved on. It just wants to, be valid. It's come visit me, sweetheart. We have that fucking fabulous time. I love your guts, man. I'm just rolling. So, my best friend, I asked my best friend originally at the beginning of the trip, hey, come with me. And she's like, oh, I'm not sure if I can. I don't know, And so I went down there and I posted my first video of me sitting on the beach. And next thing you know, she's like, I'm in the car with my kids. We're coming. So we got to do a week vacation together, me, her, and our kids. We got to get a house right on the beach with people that I love and adore. We were right by the beach. We were right by the pool. Good food with so much love. Good GMs. I got to see my uncle. Him and I had a lot of healing that we had to do up. it was amazing. And then I got to go to Fort Walton, and I got to go see my little cousin, and I got to meet up with my ex, and we got to ride jet skis in the bay, where I experienced a really deep tragedy, right? And, all of this stems into May somehow. And it's like, sometimes you don't even realize, like, that you're, like, sad at a certain time of the month or a certain time of the year. Just naturally, you don't even realize it. Like, I didn't even realize that it was May and all these things were coming up until I was, in these experiences at these times, and these now moments kept firing off. And I'm like, wow, and so a lot of time on my trip, I would, like, look back at myself and be like, yo, like, you did some big work on a lot of stuff, Okay, did I see certain areas of my life where I still had to do some work? Absolutely, right? But in the all in all, I did some really big work for myself. I got to work on my independence. I've avoided it for so long and never really needed to because someone was always there, but now I'm faced with it and I really don't have any outside hope. It's kind of sink or swim moment for me. Yeah. A lot of my life was sink or swim. And so I give you a lot of love, and you'll make it, because with a good heart and with good visions and with good intentions, you make it out here, right? I know it gets tough, and I know it gets afraid, and I know, sometimes, we'll block up our Facebook because we got hacked, and we'll think that everyone's against us because people that claim to love you so much hurt you. We go through these things, and these things, they come up, and they come up, and they come in, and they just whirl around in you, and they shake the fuck out of you, but they're there for a reason. It's a divine reason. So for anyone to act like the doo-doo and the shitstorm is not the divine reason, they're wrong. It's all the reason. Oh shit, I love you, Crystal. Where are you at? Baby, I love you. I love you too, Haru. On my vacation, on my Corona-cation, I had to work in my boundaries. I had to be in my boundaries on my Corona-cation. There's all these things going on. I got 2 kids. One's 13, one's 5. I got all these people that I know and love. I got people that can do this. I got people that can't do this. I have people that are in fear because it's a Corona-cation, because this fear is riddling our planet, right? And here's me. I'm out here on a fucking Corona-cation with 2 kids, right? Texas. I'll show you a koala bear. Always think of me. I love it. Corona-cation. I'm not going anywhere, Mona, I promise. All right. The stuff that me and my ex talked about was big, huge in my healing. Like, I got to say to him, like, the things that I saw, I went and met my biological father for the second time in my life. I'm 36 years old. And, there's so many things that you think, but, like, really one of the main things is I'm so blessed to have that as an option, because a lot of people ran out of time to do that kind of stuff, right? I hurt my ex. I ripped his heart out. I'm all on this sacred sex mission. I'm not having sex. I'm celibate. I'm shut off in my sexual energy. Some shit falls to the left in my life. I run out in low vibration. I have sex. I make a baby. I had a 7-year relationship. I cheated on him 1 time and I made a baby. That's really deep, right? That's really some deep fucking hurt. That's really like, no matter how much she loves me, fuck that bitch, right? And we went through our things because our love was deep. And he was real honest with me at the beginning. My daughter was probably like 5 months old. And he's like, I can't do this. Like, you have a whole nother human that you made having sex. And I don't even know if I believe you or trust you. And I was like, word, I love you. And I get it. And like, that was, we have these pivotal things that happen in our lives. And only we know that they're there for us to clear out these old things, to clear out these things that we carry, these fears of our ancestors, these things that we store in our energetic body, right? Making me wonder if I'm being called to me. Texas is beautiful. Share it out, Mama. I love you so much. I love you too. And I'll go in after and I'll make sure that it's public so everybody can really get it. Guys, we are all creators of our experience. That's our gift. We are here to create our experience. And so a lot of times when you're on autopilot in the creation of your experience, things are very chaotic. And you see that you create something and then you see this disaster. And then you see you create something and then you see this disaster. And then you see, and you're starting to recognize that you're the creator of your experience. And that's okay. I love you, girls. Without a cockatoo. So, you know, the part about high love, when you're a creator, you listen to your voice. You start to listen to your voice. You start to honor your voice. You start to recognize your voice. You start to get in tune with your voice. You start to get a relationship with your voice. And so, you know, one of the things that a lot of people realize right when they realize that they're creators is they start to have to listen to their own voice. Listen to the things that they're sending out. Listen to the things that they are evoking in their experience and in their universe, right? Because what's happening is people are starting to become aware of the mixed messages that they're sending out in their creation, right? And it's okay. You know, mind over matter. Always think up. This has been my life. And I have been guilty, and I learned on my trip, that I send out a lot of mixed messages, right? So like my heart wants something and I'm like, yeah. And in a certain space and a certain time, it's easy for me to keep that vibration. But then whenever I go outside and I have other people around me in my vibration, sometimes it gets hard to hold on to that same voice, right? When you have all these fears and all these things going on and you feel so close that they feel like they're yours, and then you start to get mixed up. Like you were feeling this when you were at home by yourself, but now that you're out and about with all these people, you're starting to feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, right? I love how you let her do it. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, I'm not here for dates, guys. I love you. I love your videos. So real and helpful. I love you, Amy. But, you know, when you're sending out the mixed messages in the universe, you are frustrating your own damn self. You're in your own doo-doo. Like, it's one thing to be in your ancestral doo-doo, and it's another thing to be in your, you know, I don't know. But when you're sending the mixed messages, it's like you are the one that keeps getting affected by that mixed message. Like you can feel the difference of when you're speaking your truth and when you're not speaking your truth. And so that point of the mixed message, it can feel like constant chaos. You know, there's a lot of power in your words. There's a lot of power in your words and a lot of power in your voice, but there's also a really deep inner struggle there with your words and with your voice, right? And those are programs, and those aren't anyone's fault, right? It was because to just keep us not as powerful, right? So we're really powerful beings, and you know, some people will use their power for the bad, and some people will use their power for the good. And you're going to have that everywhere. You're going to have that in everything. You're going to have people that know that and use it for the good or use it for the bad. And that's just how it is. I believe in good things for everyone, right? So, you know, focusing on your words feels challenging because it is. Focusing on the messages that you're sending out to the universe, to God, to the creator, whatever you want to call it, it feels like a challenge because it really is. It's a constant checking yourself. It's being in that now moment and constantly being able to check yourself all the time. And that's how you pump your mind up to be mind over matter. You have to work your mind out. You have to work your mind into becoming aware of self. You have to work your mind into loving yourself so you can catch yourself when you're not doing it, so you can add a little bit more in when you let off a little bit, so you can let off a little bit when you had a little bit too much, right? So guys, I want you to, you know, look at something, because a lot of people they don't they don't realize it in themselves until they can see it in other people, right? So, look at 5 people in your life. Pick 5 people that are in your life right now. 5 people that come to mind. And think of the messages that they're sending out to the universe when you talk to these people, when you see them post online, when you see them. Look at the message that they're sending out to the universe or God, right? And start and see that, and then start to compare it to yourself. Like, does anything in what I see and what they're sending out, is any of that familiar to me and within me? Because a lot of times it takes for us to see, you can see better in the mirror through someone else than you can see your own self. Sometimes it takes that mirror, it takes that reflection to be able to turn around and look at yourself better, because you didn't see it in you. It stuck out in them, but that stuck out in them because that's something hidden in your subconscious. That's how it works. Like, that's why God, the universe, all this shit is so dope, because like, it's a game. It's like you can't see it straight on, but you look in the mirror and it bounces back, and it's right how it's supposed to be. I had a talk with a great girlfriend whenever I was on my trip, and we were talking about the mask and the fear. And so, first of all, I just want to say I love everyone, and my thing for wearing a mask is just how hard I worked for my personal freedom to be where I'm at, and to feel healthy, and to feel not in fear, and to feel these things that I feel, right? So it's not in disrespect to anyone. It's in major respect to myself. We were talking about this fear and these masks, and when you see each other and looking at the mask, and just makes you feel the fear that much more stronger, right? Because we're all connected. And so when you look at the fear, when you look at where too much energy is, then you add more into that space, right? Instead of like pulling it away to the other spaces. And, I'm guilty, and I didn't realize, and it didn't click until I had this talk, and I want to share this with you all. Whether you wear a mask or not, I love you. I don't have any kind of judgment on you, but I want you to do something, and I want you to teach your kids to do something. When you're out and about and you see people with masks on, and you see or you feel these things in your energy, and you feel this anxiety, and you feel worked up, I want you to look at someone's third eye. Look at their third eye. Look up at their third eye. Look above their eyes. Look at their forehead. Look at that space. Tell your kids to look at that space, because what that's going to do is, when you look at that space, that's going to bring their energy back to that space, their visions, what they want for themselves, their third eye, right? Because in all this fear, a lot of people have been looking down at the mass, and in fear, and looking down and keeping their eyes down, and not really look up, look at people's third eyes. And know that, their visions are affected from their sex space, right? And so just try to have more compassion for people. This isn't a perfect journey. This isn't about being perfect or getting it all right, or, whatever. This is about some real life feelings being carried down for hundreds and thousands of years, and we're clearing them out. We all have old doo-doo. We all have old hurts. We all have old traumas. We all have old pains. We all have it. I do believe in a fair world for everybody. Do I know that there is some really sick shit happening everywhere? Yes. But I believe that it's all being pushed out to face it. And you know what it's like. If you're going through anything, you have to push it out. You can't just pass it off. You can't just put it in a garbage bag and throw it in the garbage. You have to really work it out of your system. A good thing to do at a time like right now is to really try to gather the facts of what feels good for you. Not living from a place of fear and what everybody's saying, but really feel into yourself and feel what feels good for you. Because this is a really incredible time. It's a time where manifestation is happening at an all-time high, but the fear is also at an all-time high. And so, when you stay up in your vision and you try to keep your vibration at a peaceful vibration where you're centered in yourself, then, you'll see abundance move in your life and through your life. But when you're stuck in fear, a lot of times you'll keep adding to that until you get ready to release it. We're fighting like really deep systematical darkness, and it's deep. It's deepest of the deep. And when you are in the deep, and when you're in there and you talk to people and you meet people and you work in this deepness all the time, it gets a lot easier to face yourself in your deepness. It gets easier to face the things in you that you didn't want to tell anyone. It gets easier to speak about them. It gets easier to, have compassion for other people and relate to them through that thing, right? And that's what we're trying to do. But, this isn't just something where, do I wish that I could just swoop up all the babies that have been stolen and take them somewhere safe? Yes. Do I know about organ harvesting? Yes. Do I know that the type of person that they're looking for in organ harvesting? Yes, I do. I'm very educated in its deep systematical darkness, but one of the biggest things that I learned is that, number one, it trickles down to us in our lives, right? So it's this big systematical darkness, but some way or another it has trickled down into your life. So if you worry about yourself and your life, then that's how you're sending love to that, the micro and the macro. That's how you're fixing that. By fixing you, you're fixing that on the outside, and then you're seeing things get shook up on the outside, and then you're gonna have to go back in, and you're always moving that energy. But you can power up with self-love in this deep systematical darkness, and love wins this war that we have right now against this systematical darkness, this programming that's fear-based. This war that we're in right now, the only thing that powered me up and charged me up is self-love. Pumping self-love into my mind so self-love is mind over matter. Yeah, do I fall off sometimes? Yeah. But whenever you build that self-love in your mind, you get back on a lot faster. Every time, as I was building, every time I kept getting on faster. Do things fall off? Yes. Get on faster. Are there all these big things going? Yeah. Sit with it. See out of all this systematical darkness, what does each of those things bring up for you? There are certain things that are really, really big deal and you don't even mind them. And then there are certain things that are not really that big of a deal, but yet they fester at you. Figure out why that festers at you. Figure out why you have the feelings that you feel for things. Figure out, where the anger is coming from. There's all this stuff right now, and it's in my city today about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, and that doesn't mean that they want to be above anyone else, right? But the things that they've had to go through, they're unfair. They're not right. They're not right at all. I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've experienced it in my life. I've saw my friends experience it. I've seen it in abundance, and it's fucking sickening. But there's a power in self-love, and there's a power. Okay, so I got real quiet about this whole thing, right? And it really makes me sick. It makes me cry. It makes my heart hurt. It makes me think about all the people I love and how, they wake up different and they have to teach their kids different, and they have to, all these things that are just so different than some of the things that I've had to go through, right? And and everyone was saying, oh, well, but I get the protest, but they shouldn't be burning down stuff. And I sat with that for a little bit, because at first it seemed to me like you really have no idea about the feeling that comes from that. Like, that doesn't enrage you. Like, that doesn't get you, like, raged out a little bit. And, I've been sitting with it. There's been all these different protests everywhere, and I'm sending my love, and I'm just trying to wrap everybody in my love, right? Because I don't know what to do. It pisses me off. I get angry. How to feel. What does that bring up for me? And, when all that stuff happened with my baby, and my baby got molested, I wanted to catch the whole world on fire. Nobody heard me. Nobody helped me. Nobody... it was like supposed to be normal. I was supposed to just deal with it. Everything was just supposed to be whatever. And that shit wasn't the fuck sitting with me, right? But I do a lot of internal work. And so I go in and I sit with myself so I don't go out and vandalize the fuck out of things just trying to get my fucking point across and trying to get someone to hear me about what I'm saying. This has been going on way too long, and it needs to fucking change. And so me, as the person that I am, how I'm going to change it is when I see it, or when I hear it, or when I'm around it, I'm calling it the fuck out. I'm saying what I need to say. I'm standing there to make sure people get treated fairly, and I'm going at it. And that's what I'm going to do in my now moments. And I'm going to give love, and I'm going to really, really believe that there's love out here for everyone. There's greatness out here for everyone, that there is a deep, deep pain that is associated with all of this. And we have to love one another and have compassion for one another to clear this up. Right. The ideas that are in your brain, they mean so much. They mean so much, just like my coronation. At first I thought that I was being like a little brat, right? But do you know how many other people on that trip received healing from me following my ideas by my heart? Like, so I felt my ideas with my whole entire heart, and I let my heart lead me with those ideas. And it helps so many other people when you do that. And maybe it's people that people can't see. And maybe it's people that don't recognize right away. And maybe it's people that don't ever say, right? But I'm telling you, your ideas mean so much. And so following your ideas, dropping them down into your heart, wrapping your heart all around it in love, and just living like that, it helps other people. Emotions will cause these mixed messages that I'm talking about in your voice. And so, we got to cut out the things that we don't want. There are a lot of things happening right now in this world, in this darkness, right, that we really don't want. And we have to cut that all out, right? And so we can't add to the symptom. We have to draw away from it and love and speak love and life around this, right? We have to stand up for what we believe in. I read a lot of really good articles about the things that I can do, and I'm right on it, making sure, right? Because it's like you have to police the police. And, I get it. I do work with the police. I do help the helpers. I try to teach them about the energy that they carry, and not every single person that they meet in every now moment is the same criminal that killed and stabbed his mother. It's not always the same person. Everyone's really different. But what happens in police and in social work and in the jails and in, a lot of heavy healing work is that people take a lot of other people's energy in, and then they burn themselves out, and then they start just treating people like nobody matters. And so, so you need to speak life into all of these situations. I'm going to try again to go back out here and get into the jails and get to working with these police officers and trying to work with the ones that want to be worked on to release this energy of this crummy job that they have to have, right? I want to work with families who have trauma and feel, I want to raise up the love and support businesses. And so I want to support everybody. I want to see everybody do great, right? But we have to clear out a lot of systematical darkness. And we can't just be firing everything up with our emotions. We really have to use our power in love to clear this out. We really have to. We have to. So for the people that know what I'm talking about, thank you. You gotta lead by your heart. A lot of old things are coming up. So, at the same time that the universe is like, okay, here we are, we're pushing forward, right? This retrograde got all this other shit coming up, all this old shit in the background, things that you thought you already got through and mastered, and boom, here we are again, right? But a lot of times the things that come up in your life during a retrograde that feel tempting or easy or comfortable, or like, come here and this is going to be your little safe space for a little bit, a lot of times that's low vibrational energy. That's your old comfortable uncomfortable, right? And so that's where old feelings are guiding you. But that's where I want you to remember, when you're in those old feelings, when you're in your old ancestral feelings, the things that you carry down, the things that you pass down, I want you to think about your new solid foundation. Think about the visions for yourself. Think about this conversation and looking at the third eye. When you're with your friends, look at their third eye. When you're with your kids, look at their third eye. Teach your kids to look at people's third eyes, right? Because you have a power in your vision. And, just simply bringing recognition up to that third eye, that's like the best gift you can give to anyone. You can just do it. Just look at their third eye. Hey, pimpin'. I can't see any of your faces, but when I look at you, I just look right at your third eye. You got to know your goals out here, right? And it's okay to set and rearrange your goals however many times you need to. But you have to have goals out here because you're the creator of your experience. One of the best things that I did this year, and I want to share it with you guys, right? Because it stops working if you don't share it. Allow things to flow in from unknown resources, right? Love, friendship, compassion, kindness, peace, all of these things. And you have to say it out loud, write it out loud, right? I allow, abundance from unknown resources. I allow love from unknown resources. I allow kindness from unknown resources. And then watch you get your socks knocked off by some strangers or some people that you just knew but not really that close, right? Allow things to flow in from unknown resources, whatever department or category you're focused on in your life. Allow things to flow in from unknown resources, because that's the unknown. That's how you're getting able to trust the new, right? Because you're like, okay, that was good. Okay, that was good. It's like a little cookie for like trying to work with being the creator, trying to work with your power. God shows out, man. God shows out, and that's what I've been talking to my friends about. I'm so grateful that I have the friends that I have, because when you're the creator and when you're asking for these things and when you're clearing these things out when they come up and when you're getting vulnerable about them and crying about them and feeling them all the way around, right? God shows out. The power in allowing things to flow in from unknown resources is massive. It takes a lot of power to allow love in. That's one thing that I've been really learning on my journey. I could give love like a mug, right? I just could not allow it in because it hurts and pains. And I slowly worked on it and I slowly picked it away. And I'm still working on it. And I'm probably never going to quit, right? I'm getting chilly. Just want you guys to know. Oh, here comes the sun. Thank you, Mr. Sun. But whenever you start to know the power of this with you and the creator, the power of what you're creating, does it go to your head? Do you think that you're the only one can do it? Do you think you're the only one can be it? Or do you share it? And so see why I'm sharing with you guys what I've been doing and how it's been working? Hey, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. The future is not ours to see. Whatever will be, will be. Hey, Sarah, love your guts. Guys, man. Love you, dog. Love you, love you. I have to put the sweatshirt on. I can't. I bought a sweatshirt on vacation because I knew when I came back to Pittsburgh after 3 weeks at the beach, I was going to be freaking cold. Cold. Let's see these eyebrows. Getting it. You know, self-love is a journey, guys. It's a journey of finding fulfillment within yourself, from yourself, in yourself, about yourself, for yourself. You know, a lot of people only feel good when they're loving other people. Imagine if all that energy you could give to yourself first, and then that love just overflows out to everyone else around you. Hi, Jamie. It's been a long time. I love you, girl. You know, guys, like I said before, there are people out here who need your guidance. So there are people out here that don't know it, but they're waiting for you to stand in your power, for you to help to guide them to this, right? The power within you, the power to create your life, the power to take charge of your life, the power to see where you're, you know, misstepping your words, the power to see where you're evoking some doo-doo up in your life, right? All of our past have so much purpose. All of our past, all of our pain, every bit of it has so much purpose. Every dream, every moment, every connection, every mishap, all of it. You know, you either own your personal power or you misuse it and you mistreat people with it in your life. And so, can you see where anyone in your life is unaware of their personal power? Because that will help to guide you through their reflection of where you might be off in your personal power. Other people are only here to show us better. Trust that. So don't take it personal. And that can be a personal moment right there. When you see where somebody else is off in their personal power, and then you take that back to you where you're off in your personal power, you can get a little stroke of big dick ego energy and be like, it's them, not me. Fuck bitches, get money. It can feel rough in that space. That's all I'm saying. Just give it love. Give everyone love. Have compassion, right? You know, guys, we're doing it different, and that's what this whole love thing is, and raise the vibration, and the vibration on the planet is, you know, we're owning our power. We're taking our power back where we have given it out. We're setting boundaries where we didn't have them before. We're loving ourselves more than we ever have. We're worried about how we feel on the inside in every now moment. In our jobs, I see you guys moving it. In your families, I see you busting a move. With your kids, I see you working it. And it's like, to me, like I told you guys, hello, John. Unconditional love to you too, love. You know, as we own our power, it gets easier to support others to own their power. You know, you have a personal power inside you. Nobody can just take you over without you letting them take you over. You know, your feelings do mean everything to you. They don't have to mean everything to everyone else. These have been really tough times, and so I give so much love. I come out here and I give you tons and tons of big ass love, right? Because it is tough. You know, when you're exposing dishonesty, that's a risky part. And, you know, about getting into this deep systematical darkness, you have to expose the dishonesty. You have to speak up about it. You have to take risks. You have to stand there when nobody else is standing there. If you're there at that moment, that's divine motherfucking intervention. Use your voice. Use it from your power. You have the power. Do we have the power in love to stop this shit? If we all would just use our power. You know, overcoming repression and violence with more clever and original ways to show love for what you're passionate about, to show your movement, to get people into what your movement is. You know, the way you talk about your movement is how you get people involved, guys. I'm telling you, I've been learning all this shit for all these years, right? What you got going on right now is you got a lot of people that think that they want what other people have, right? And so they're just looking at the shell of this thing and they're thinking, oh man, you know, it'd be really nice if my life could be like that, right? But what they're not realizing is that what they have isn't even what they want. You know, what they don't talk about, you know, and it's crazy because then what they don't talk about is what you start attracting. You don't even realize that you asked for that, right? You created that in your life by wishing to be like someone else. Don't do that, man. You're fucking amazing the way you are. You're amazing in your divine self. You're amazing in your unique heart, your passions, your pains, your purposes. You're amazing. And so you think you want what someone else has, but it's never what it seems like. And when you ask for it, the undertone, you get the undertone when you're being sneaky and not, you know, whatever, right? Guys, I'm telling you, seek the truth. The truth is freedom. Ask for the truth. Ask to be shown the truth. Ask to be guided to the truth. Ask the truth to be pounding you on your forehead, because the truth is freedom. That's where you find freedom at crazy times like this, in the truth. In the true you. The truth is you, and the truth is in you, and the truth wants to be expressed through you, and it doesn't seem so humanly sweet sometimes, right? If you want peace and harmony, you must be that. You must vibrate at that. And that way you attract that into your life. That's just how it works. You know, compassionate and kindness needs to get to a place where it's natural. It's not something that's phony and fake. You know, when you see someone go through something, you really do have compassion for them and kindness. You want to help any way you can. You want to do anything you can to be able to help, right? But you have to be compassionate and kind to yourself. And so sometimes, as much as you want to help, you have to sit back and you have to rest yourself and be different, right? You can send love, you can act on love, you can speak love, you can share love, you can share ideas, you can come together, guys. We got to believe in ourselves. We really got to believe in ourselves. You know, this is a time, it's a deep time. Manifestation is happening fast. Do you believe that you're the creator of your experience? Do you believe that there's a battle going on between fear and love, and fear is trying to override your destiny? Do you believe that you're strong enough in your power and your connection to source that you can do whatever you need to do and be protected out here? Do you believe that you will be free as long as you keep following your heart? That you create from the doo-doo, that it matters how you feel? We're finding it. We're learning to work it. This power, you know, this power, it can't come out in fire. It has to come out in this peace and harmony. You know, we're not fighting this fight. It's different. It's like a peace fight. It's a whole different kind of fight. I believe it. I have Archangel Michael. Yeah. Archangel Michael's dope. I got a lot of angels that nobody ever heard their names. There's a power in your vision. That's why I say look at people's third eye. Talk about it. What are you imagining for yourself? What do you see yourself? What do you love? What fires you up? What makes your heart beat faster, right? The journey to peace gets bumpy as fuck, fam. You know, I set this intention that I was gonna like get to this peaceful place, and I've been in some cyclones, hurricanes, tornadoes, dry dust storms. Can't breathe in your face, right? It's bumpy. You can feel beat up. And then you can do something crazy that inspires your heart, like a coronation, and feel happy. But that's just a temporary happy. So on my coronation and following my happy, I had to get in about the things that were making me feel unhappy, right? And that's a constant process, but you're finding true emotional appreciation for the things that maybe made you unhappy. A lot of things that have happened that hurt, they made us unhappy. But how do you find ways to appreciate them genuinely? That's work. For all your things. There's a lot of different things. People think womb space, sex space is just your sexual partners. That's your mom, your dad, your grandma, sex, dysfunction, kids, anything. In your heart is very optimistic, no matter what your fear is trying to put on it, and creative. But a lot of people have a lot of fears in opening their hearts and leading with their hearts because of the traumas that they faced in their lives. And so a lot of times you have to go back to that trauma, get yourself to the place where you finally feel emotional appreciation for that thing, and then that's when your heart starts to open. And the angels are there, and the guides are there. Call, ask for help from unknown resources if you don't know anything about it. But opening your heart is one thing. Leading with your heart is the powerfulest thing you can do in this life. And the 528 Hertz helps you to free your heart from the things that you're holding on to that maybe aren't for your best interest. When you free your heart, immediately, energetically, you give others permission around you to do the same. So when you free your heart, say it's a situation with your mom or your dad or your lover or whatever. When you free your heart from that, we have cords connected to one another. That automatically frees up that person and gives them permission to free their heart. Maybe they were thinking of it different, right? Maybe, okay, it hurt you. Maybe it hurt them too, just different. And you couldn't see their way from the place that you were sitting. But when you do this work on yourself, whether you reach out to them or not, it'll energetically give them the permission to do the same. A lot of people hold themselves in some sort of, energetic punishment, not even realizing that they do that. Energy magic, guys. Forgiveness is energy magic. Use it with love. Put your heart into your decisions. When you put your heart in your decisions, you start to expand the love around you. Put your heart into your food. Put your heart into your cleaning rituals. Put your heart into when you throw things out. Put your heart into the things that you love and feel passionate about. The posts that you put, the pictures that you put up, right? Put love into it. The coronications that you take. We're creating our lives. So we're creating how our lives are governed. We're creating how we're gonna live and be independent in this world. We're creating the loyalty that's around us. We're creating the consistency that's around us. We're creating the rebellion that's around us. We're creating the fearlessness that's around us, right? By our words, by our energy, by what we are attracting, by what we are aware of, by what we are thinking, by what we are speaking, by what we are scared of, right? We're creating. There's no judgment, guys. There's no judgment out here. And so if anyone's judging you, know that they're just judging you from some sort of fear because you were some sort of reflection for them that brought up something that they need to look at in themselves. You can tell them and they can get it, or they don't have to get it. And it's not up to you, right? Just share. In the no judgment and in the neutral spaces where you really catch your blessings. When you're being judgy to people, you're going to meet people that are being judgy to you. And that non-judgment, that's where your blessings come in. I love to go to a place of neutral. So a lot of my meditations, I just go to the place of neutral. Nothing, black, darkness, no pull, no push, no anything. I'm just sitting there and I breathe. there's messages always being pumped to you, right? So either they're coming through your mind, they're coming through your heart, right? They're coming through your physical life. But when you go to the place of neutral, then that's when you're starting to work on opening your heart to receive, because you can't just be the best giver alive and keep your full power. You need even give and receive in your life. And guys, have compassion for people that don't see their own power. Have compassion for those that are in fear. Have compassion for those that are in their emotions and letting their emotions make decisions for them. Have compassion for the people who aren't following their intuition because they don't fully trust it yet. Have compassion for those who are following their hearts even though it doesn't make any sense. Have compassion for people that are making big giant changes in their life and they're not sure if they're doing things right. Just compassion and love. Listen to what people are going through, instead of just when somebody puts up Black Lives Matter and you put up All Lives Matter, why don't you listen? Just listen to what they've been through as people for their skin color. They don't even get a choice. Their skin color, they can't hide it. They can't do anything. Let them have that. Listen to what they go through in 2020 right now. It's disgusting. Have love for that. Just listen. The war is on your fears. It's the war between fear and love. You got to stay lit. You got to dream big. You got to be inspired. You got to look at the beauty in the world. And I know it's a crazy time, but the beauty in the world is way more apparent now. The beauty in nature is way more apparent now. The beauty in the way the animals are moving is way more apparent now. The beauty in the way that the darkness is crumbling is apparent now. The beauty in the things that are being pulled to the light that nobody wanted to talk about or discuss. There's a beautiful place in that. When you find your neutral moment, you'll see the beauty in the protesting. When someone cares about something so much and they want change so much and things aren't changing, the beauty in the fire within you, that will get you started. That will get you somewhere. That will get you going. Follow your heart. Share your gifts. Share your gifts. Each and every one of you have special gifts. Share them. Right now is the time to learn to be the authentic you. And you only learn to be the authentic you when you get these feelings and these pulls and these things and you follow them. And loving the rough patches of you, loving the not so perfect parts of you, loving the times where you've been in the wrong, loving the times where you've been in the dark, loving the times where you've been unsure, loving the times where maybe you love too much, loving the times where maybe you wasted a little bit too much time on that, loving you for not getting it right, not saying the right thing, maybe saying the wrong thing, right? You're not alone, guys. This world is full of folks that are healing up. Big stuff. It's big, huge, and they just need love and compassion, and they just need to understand that they're not alone. You're loved. You need to understand that. Everyone needs to understand how loved they are, even when you don't feel seen, even when you don't feel heard. Something bigger than everybody else sees you and hears you and feels you and knows you. Loving yourself takes big, huge work. Wanting to heal up these things that you become aware of in your life takes big, huge fucking guts. I love your guts. I love your guts if you do it. I love your guts if you don't do it. I love your guts for the people that sit in the front. I love your guts for the people that sit in the back. In the neutral space, you must allow love in. You were meant to be happy. I love the kids. Touchdown. You have to be happy. What did I just say right there? It must allow love in. They said touchdown right there. That's it, right? And furthermore, love is an action, not just a word. Yeah, yeah. And you can put love in action. A lot of people have a hard time even just saying the word. So if you can just start saying the word, that's a big thing. You know, take your time. If you need to take your time, take your time. If you go out and you make an action of love and it doesn't seem reciprocated, know that that's okay too. And go back and take your time and don't be scared to try it again. You know, this walk that I've been on, and I feel so blessed, and I know that you're blessed in your walk, and I know that there's a lot of doo-doo in the walk, but I know you're still blessed. I know that pains lead to big purpose. I know that every single bit of my trip led me to where I was supposed to be, to where I was supposed to think, to where my heart was supposed to be, to some of the other new boundaries that I had to make, to some of the other stuff that has been going on, right? One thing leads to the next. That's how the divine plan all works out. When you look back, it's like all these little pins like go toward each other. You know, this raise in vibration, this war with fear and love, this is bringing us to heaven on earth, a peace on earth, a heaven on earth, where, you know, this corruptness isn't the ruler, right? Where love wins, where love overrides the shitty system, where love overrides the overwork and unnoticed people, where, you know, love sticks up for families and nobody fucking has a rebuttal. I do believe in greatness for all people. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you're in right now, no matter what you've said or done, I do believe in greatness for all. I do believe in forgiveness for all. I do believe that everyone is a creator of their experience. I believe that copper helps me do my energy work better, right? If they want it. So you got to want the greatness to receive the greatness, to allow the greatness in. You can't rely on others. You can't compare yourself to others. You have to stay in your lane. You have to, you know, maybe get you like a little inspiration team of people that can help you to stay inspired and be inspired and share inspirations with. You can't love someone past where you love yourself, and other people can't love you past where they love themselves. And a lot of people think they're like running out of time and things like that. And so, you know, just have compassion for that. If you are at a place and you're trying to, you know, relate to someone else and tell them that they're a God and they're a creator and they create this experience, just know that they can't relate to you past where they can relate with themselves. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that they're stupid, that they just haven't reached that part of expansion yet to where they understand what you're saying. And so just smother them with love. I love you guys. You know, I love this work. You can't give it, you don't got. No. Does anybody want any cards or anything? I don't have my baby, so I did all the things I wanted to do. And I'm chilling. I'm gonna make me some treats, some snacks, maybe watch a couple movies, get my chill on. Does anyone want a card? I love you guys. You know, I love you. I know that if you're on my shit and if you're talking to me, you're doing this work. This work is big. I know there's a lot of things coming up for you. I know a lot of times it feels really heavy, like you can't breathe. Meditate, go in, love yourself, pay attention to yourself, stick up for yourself, make moves for your voice, the internal voice, you. Gary, you do? You know I got my Abraham Hicks cards. I just gotta lay them out. These ones are big. excuse my yawns on this. You see the weather? I've been like off and on. Gary, our varied behavior adds to the planet's well-being. Whoa. Do you hear that? When you remember that nothing can come into your experience without your vibrational invitation of it, and when you remember that the varied behavior of others adds to the balance and well-being of your planet, even if they offer behavior that you do not approve of, and that you do not have to participate in the unwanted behavior and will not unless you give your attention to it, you become more willing to allow others to live as they choose. It's a good one for a lot of people today, I think. Everyone's different. I respect everyone where they are. I get it, you know. I get it. I get it being so angry that you just want to buck. And I get being so sad that you just sit there and can't even find words. Bridget. I can get from an unwanted to a wanted. As you walk away from one unpleasant situation, the law of attraction will bring another that feels very much like it, and usually quickly. You just can't not get there from there. To get where you want to be, to that place of feeling better, you have to reach for alignment between you and you. Getting yourself feeling good before you take action is always the best process. For when you do not feel good, you cannot be inspired to any action that will solve the problem. I love that one. A lot of people are in unwanted relationships, all kind of different ones, and they want them. You gotta walk away and just trust. Trust that the universe will take care of that other person. Trust that it's okay to walk away. Trust that it's okay to recreate from there. Does anybody else want a card? I'm here. Oh, it's been beautiful out since I've been home. I feel so thankful. Oh, this makes so much sense. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love you guys, you know. I love you. I love the I mean, even if I just see the littlest spark of hope that someone's trying to go in and learn how to love themselves, I'm like, yes. It's a mess in there sometimes. We're cleaning up a lot of shit. I love you guys. You know, I love being connected to the people. I love being able to feel what everyone can feel. It's just sometimes does it feel a little bit too heavy? Yeah, you're welcome. You're most welcome. Sometimes it feels like you can't really deal much more with too much more bullshit. That's okay. It's okay. You're not a quitter because you quit fucking around with shit that didn't serve you. You're strong. The things in the spirit world, they're different than the things in the human world. The encouragement, the love, the support, the intervention. It comes from a neutral, unconditional, loving space. I think we're really here to create heaven on earth, guys. Through the doo-doo, through the muck. You know, I think we picked this. I think we picked to be here right now to just smother all these things in love. To live our hearts with love. Live all of it out with love. That's what I really do think. Peace. Heaven on earth. It's a beautiful thing. We can have it. I do believe it. I'm not better than anyone out here. I'm just an old regular girl learning that I'm the creator of my experience. It's crazy. You can do it too. Let me see if I can find this video. I'm just scrolling. Here it is. You gotta clear out the pain. You know, if something comes up and it gives you like a deep reaction, you gotta wait on that and feel. You know, you gotta feel around and do something from your power, not your emotion. You know, emotional imbalance. You want to be balanced in your power. Thank you for your love. I still have a present for you. And a live video. Helping a friend pain. Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, they're asking me all kind of stuff. I wasn't ready. Use stream paired encoder. I don't know. I just want to close this out. Stream health. What are they doing? I'm just trying to... Oh, this is all way different. I don't know. Let me get off here. Let me get off here and figure out how to make it public so you guys can share it. I know it's heavy right now. And I know you guys all deserve peace and love, and, you know, everybody wants good for their kids. We're all working it out. My heart loves my hammock, so I put it up. Oh, come on, Facebook. Rotate. I love you guys. I love being connected to you guys. I love doing this journey together. Even the people that... I see you, Major Tad. Yeah, I did. Still got some white hairs. Full effect. I have a tan on my scalp. Like, my scalp is suntanned. In my, like, natural part. You know, this journey doesn't have to be, doesn't have to all be nasty. You know, you gotta take moments when it's really deep and thick and the dude is really deep. You have to really take moments to look for the beauty in your life. Look for the beauty in your healing. Look for the beauty in your journey and the people and all the feelings and the, you know, things you came up against and over, right? We're all just trying to get better than we were yesterday or whatever.